What's up, guys? It's your boy Parag. Welcome back to day 39 of the hard challenge. We are feeling good today. Just came back from the morning walk. You know what I'm saying? Something light for me. Today the workout is just stretching and abs. So if you don't want to skip to that, head over there. Today, before we get into anything, bro, I feel tired. I'm not gonna lie. But I am gonna be getting some new glasses, so that's good. I got crazy eye bags, so I'm not gonna lie. Like, bruh. Anyways, before we get into the main reading section, we always gotta do question of the day, which is there anything you are running away from or avoiding? Bro, why are they hitting me hard with these kind of questions? Anything I'm running away from or avoiding? I would say one thing would be like job hunting. I mean, yeah, I apply here and there, but it's like I have like this I have this guilt of not finding a job because I have this guilt that I got my degree for no reason because I didn't use it, or like I didn't basically I wasn't a good student. Okay, I just want to put that out in the air. There's that. What else am I running away from? I would say I'm like running away from my goals sometimes. I'm like, me, I'm always trying to strive to my goals, but I feel like sometimes I get sidetracked, whether it be doom scrolling or whether like I try and like talk to people, or like I'm always like checking my phone to see if like, oh my god, like did I get a notification? Oh my god, like I'm always distracted with that. So I guess that's another thing. And then I don't know, I feel like there's more, but it's not coming in my head. But if y'all know, if you guys have anything that you're running away from, comment down below, or avoiding. Honestly, I think another thing that I'm avoiding, even though I just said I was done, I think another thing that I'm avoiding or running away from is like trying to figure out, or like trying to learn and figure out my own emotions. I feel like there's days where like I get super emotional. I'm like, man, just thug it out. I'll be alright, which I would be alright, but then later that night, oh, it's bad. It's very bad. But anyways, on to the reading section of the day. Okay. While the early liberation movements had imagined a free sexuality as an essential, non-commercial, non-monetized aspect of the self, sexuality became both a remunerated and non-remunerated source of surplus value for a consequential number of industries controlled by men. The economic valuation of the female body was made possibly by the fact that it was transformed into a tradable visual unit. Bro, that's crazy. They're talking about females here, bro. They're people, not object. That's crazy. Anyways, new norms of attractiveness started being diffused and through a vast network of industries from the beginning of the 20th century onward. Mass media and the fashion cosmetics industry complex propagated images of beautiful and fashionable women on the unprecedented scale. These images created new norms of attractiveness that transcended class-based sartorial codes and had a cross-class appeal through the sociologist Ashley Mayers called the look. A mixture of clothing styles, allure, and a bodily shape, a look is a tradable asset that circulates in an economic of images. The individual body thus became a legitimately traded commodity through a process of spectacularization. It became an image that imitated and reflected public images of bodies. Procedures of self-production and self-presentation always reflected the dominant economic and cultural interests of the same time. Sexual attractiveness constitutes a new way for the body to stage itself through media, visual symbols, and consumer items. The sexy body is in turn at the heart of the widespread fashion with sex and the sexual explicit in a print and broadcast media. This is aptly captured by Ambrose, the same man quoted in the previous chapter. Ambrose quoted, "My buddies and I, we call each other very often and say to each other, it's impossible. There's so many gorgeous looking girls in the street, incredible butts, women who have incredible body. with tightly fitted dress or jeans, incredibly breasts, so shapely, and they know how to show it. And this I call the street frustration. You know it has become ordinary. You come home in the evening and you feel that it's not possible, that it's impossible. All these sexual temptations, all of these gorgeous women, it's impossible. Maybe it's because I have a lower testosterone than these dudes, but like I feel like, bro, like, or maybe I've grown emotionally. I don't know, but like, you can look 10 out of 10, right? But if you have like either a shit personality or like y'all just don't click, it doesn't matter how good you look. Like that shit's not gonna last, right? I feel like for me personally, obviously, the looks is gonna like reel me in. It's gonna, make me want to talk to you. But then from there, it's like actually getting to know you. It's like, do I really want to talk to you for real? Because like, yeah, you look good, but it's like, you kind of ass, you know what I mean? But it's like, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out on my own. Like, I'm trying to figure out ways, well, not now, because guys, let's be honest, your boy is not dating anytime soon. I always see these jokes like, oh, if you're a baddie, hit me up. Or like, I'm saying, in Japan, I'm gonna meet a baddie. Guys, I'm sad, okay? I'm going through some shit. And your boy's not gonna be dating or anytime soon. Like years or I don't know how long. But aside from me whining, when it comes to beautiful men or women, it's like, bro, yeah, they look good, but like you gotta really know them. And I think that's what I'm also gonna like develop is methods to like know someone. Anyways, enough of me yapping. Walter Benjamin Flanner strolled in the street that was becoming a spectacular new architectural design and window display, but also through the sexualization of objects. Next page. The masses first made it possible for the sexual object to be reflected simultaneously in 100 different forms of allurement forms which the object itself produced. Beyond this, stability itself can become a sexual stimulus, and this attraction increases whenever an abundant supply of women underscores their character as commodity. With the exhibition of girls in their rigid uniform dress at the later period, the Music Hall Review explicitly introduced the mass-produced article in the Slidable Life of the Big City Dweller. As Benjamin incisively remarks here, the sexual object circulates in many versions of itself in the consumer culture, which eroticizes the promotion of and sale of goods. The modern Flanner, like Amber Rose, I said Amber Rose, bro. What the fuck? Amber. His name not Ambrose, Amber, whatever, bro. Is a sexual spectator who consumes woman's body as a commodity spectacle of sexuality and consumer objects. The spectator attends to the body as a visual surface containing signs of sexuality and experiences, and consumer sphere as an ongoing, low-key flow of sexual desire organized in urban public spaces. Sexiness is a result of new ideologies of sexuality as a commodity form and the self as an image. Sexiness relies on consumer items for revealing, displaying, and emphasizing the sexual body. It points to the desirable and naked body, with consumer attires doing the work of signaling and evoking the naked body. Being sexy becomes more a matter of wearing certain types of clothes, worn in different ways. Sexiness was more democratic than beauty in that it can only be achieved by a much larger pool of people. The handsome and the comely, the physical lucky and the unlucky, because it is the result of the self-fashioning rather than that of a born beauty, it makes consumption an ongoing and permanent feature of the experience of the self. Sexual attractiveness is performably established through the consumer items and practices, and is thus an economic performance through sports, fashion, cosmetics, medical, and pharmaceutical goods. It makes the body a visual surface destined to be a visual consumer, as the object defined by its capacity to escalate sexual desire. While the notion of hexis, as it was reformulated by Pierre Bourdieu, it's a French name, I'm sorry, I can't say it properly, suggested that one's class position was encoded in the body. The sculpting industrial complex generated relatively classiness, moderness of attractiveness and sexiness. Diffused through new social groups associated with those industries, fashion designers, all of walks, stylists, models, actors, photographers, women's magazine editors, cosmeticians, hairdressers, movie makers, and much more, all promote visual appearance as a tradable commodity. The sexual gaze seizes objects and persons as a single unit and creates a seamless continuity between the two through the cultural category of the sexual attractive body, in which sexuality and consumption I'm going to try to say the word, perform each other for the gaze. This is illustrated by Yuri, a 28-year-old Israeli man, about the type of woman he finds attractive. Yuri, I don't like too much of the femme style. I'm joking. Everyone has a preference. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. Polished nails, high heels, makeup, like very careful dressing. I don't find it attractive. It's like an image for me. I like women who look more casual than the wear jeans, for example, tight jeans and a tight t-shirt and boots. I find sexy. I mean, yeah, I feel like it's like a balance for me, in my opinion. I feel like a mix of both worlds. Notice how the sexual category this man is attracted to is a construct of consumer object and images. Here, a sexual type is the fact equated with the consumer type. What is marketed as femininity or masculinity is thus a consumer substyle, which follows the visual logic of consumer recognition. As Guy Debord said it, this society of spectacle is not a mere collection of images, but rather is a social relationship mediated by images. This is nowhere more true than the sexual encounter, which is indeed a performance of the social bond through images of personhood that themselves point to and are performed by consumer objects. Sexual identity is inscribed in the what is this word? Asensization? I give up. Of everyday experience through the consumer objects, with the body becoming a visual and anesthetic commodity. As Nicholas Mirzoff put it, the visual subject is at once the agent of sight, the person who looks and the object of others' gazes. The visual sexual agent is an expert in his skillful capacity to relate to others as visual surfaces, and is aware that she or he is the object of others' visual evaluation. What Hegel called recognition, the intersubjective process of two subjectivities meeting and acknowledging each other, has moved here to a visual and sexual plane, in which is simultaneously audience and performer. This self-awareness of other gazes is distinct from the traditional symbolic process of recognition. It is grounded in the media market technology nexus. It concerns the bodily surface and its hotness, and it is a process more, next page, or less controlled by men who have the symbolic economic power to define women's worth and attractiveness. This is well expressed by the defined sugar baby blogger who, referring to the attention she pays to her body in order to catch the attention of rich men, speaks for many women. Could I really be happy with a man old enough to be my father? Yes, yes, and yes. You see, by being meticulously preen and fabulous at all times, I give up nothing. I love coordinating my outfits, getting manicures, pedicures, and especially shopping. I love all these things with or without the benefit of meeting rich men. Looking my best gives me a high because I am a perfectionist to the core, and nothing less will do. Besides, if I was married to a rich man, I would be carrying on the same. The woman you see walking down the street is a piece of art. A lot of maintenance, manicures, pedicures, haircuts, waxing, bleaching, plucking, and shopping goes into that piece of art. Art reflects your lifestyle and status. If a trophy is what you want, then you must be prepared to pay. Okay? Everyone got their opinions. I could be mad at that. Beauty and sexual attractiveness here are predicated on the male gaze and in turn require a preliminary extensive work on self-fashioning grounded in the consumer sphere. To be recycled and circulated as the image of themselves, consumed by men who detain an economic power, this sugar baby suggests that she is once a sexual and economic agent, a consumer and producer of her own life. Consumer culture has transformed the ontology of sexual into a theater of the self, a visible public performance mediated by consumer objects, while bourgeois sexuality was the prerogative of the secretive of bedrooms. It is now a visible feature of the self, regulated by a scopic regime of consumption As Daniel Mendelsohn puts it, my gay friend and I are inhabitants of the culture in which libido is a product to be consumed. Similarly, femininity is visual performance situated in a market controlled by men. Destined to be the male gaze and consumed by men, if traditional women's sexuality was exchanged for men's money and power, modern women's sexuality is now located in a market where women's sexualized body is endless and continuously approached through male gaze. Yet, it is through that exercise of their freedom that women are enjoyed to display their sexuality. It is an act of power that they are called to turn the sexual value of their body into aesthetic, symbolic, and economic performance. Hence, if women's bodies have been sexualized and commodified so widely, it is because sexualization is an economic and symbolic value at once. The attractive body is the cornerstone of consumer culture, can be processed and returned by the sphere of the production, thus generated capital. One form of such capital is to be found in the plethora of services offered by industries that require a pleasant and attractive appearance. Restaurant hosts, flight attendants, public relation representatives, and the alike all must have an attractive appearance, or what Catherine Hackton has conversely called the erotic capital. In that case, in that sense, sexuality belongs in the sphere of immeasurable labor. The set of intangible skills and competences actors bring into the workplace that in some cases even define the work position. As Ashley Mayer points out, increasingly companies are seeking employees who embody the right look. The importance of attractiveness for the workplace produces management of the self akin to forms of self-branding. Indeed, self-branding may be considered a form of effective, immutable labor that is purposely undertaken by individuals in order to garner attention, reputation, and potentially profit. A second way in which sexual selves produce value is through the visual industries in which sex and sexual are consumed as an image. In the advertising, film, or TV industry, down to the industry of porn, while until the 1950s, cinema simultaneously displayed women's bodies through fashionable clothes that revealed concealed sexual parts. After the 1960s, nakedness and sexuality became ordinary features of cinema and later of television. Women who have been consistently shown disproportionately more in revealing clothes than men. By 1999, over 2/3 of evening TV shows were contained sexual content, an increase of 12% over the previous years. If sex had a defining feature in the 1990s, it was ubiquity. We may thus say that the consumption of the image of the attractiveness and sexual body was considered expanding throughout the 20th century, increasing the revenues of variety of visual industries, exposing women by overwhelmingly owned and managed by men. As New York Times communist Maureen Down puts it, even though women are a half of ticket buyers, only 4% of the 100 top grossing films of the last decade were directed by women. Women make up 11% of writers, 3% of cinematographers, 19% of producers, and 40% of editors. Alright, so that's the reading section of the day. My opinion on everything is literally my opinion is like yesterday's opinion. Same thing, guys. Women and men gotta be equal. You know what I'm saying? Equality, all that good stuff. I'm not really one to deep dive into things, but I think all humans gotta be equal. They should be equal. Not everyone is born equal, right? But they should be treated as equals. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's the reading for today. Let's get on to the workout, doing some stretching with some abs, and then tomorrow will be arm day. So I'll see you guys to the workout. Peace. Okay, doing some stretching, making sure that the groin is all right and proper. Not doing some stretching over here, the hammies. My shit be tight, bro. Pause. My calves and hammies be mad tight, but I'm just glad that I'm stretching it. I feel like this should be a daily thing, but I'm only doing it once a week or twice a week. So I definitely gotta implement this more, just stretching in general, because I am getting older. I'm not getting younger, and your boy already got knee and back pain at the ripe age of 22. So it's not looking so good. Yeah, I know I got big butt. I know you ain't gotta tell me.
It's for straight power though, because I go crazy in the basketball court. Actually, no, I don't. I just shoot threes. I'm scared to drive in the paint. Anyways, doing some stretching over there. Now we're going on to some 90-90s, making sure that the hips are unlocked. You know what I'm saying? It's never good having tight hips. Holy bumble, I can't talk. Okay, calf stretching. Yo, I'm telling you guys, you need to put this in your bag. It really like stretches your calves. I mean, your quads. It's really good. Now we're doing some hey. Yep, making sure to just really unleash and release the form. Okay, guys, pause. This is for the lower back. Okay, I promise. It's for the lower back. I see volleyball players do it. Okay, it's not suspect. It is what it is. And now we're just ending off this segment with the pigeon stretch, making sure that I don't know why, but my hamstrings are like super tight. I need to stretch more because I want to go for runs more often, but my knees and my calves say no otherwise, and my back. Now we're doing some stretching, making sure that the shoulders are all loose and tidy. Triceps, I was yawning, bro. I was like kind of tired, I'm not gonna lie. Doing some back stretches. Hey. Now we're doing some toe touches. I can actually like touch the ground with my finger pads most of the time, so getting more flexible in that department. Now we're doing some like star touches. Yup, 1, 2, yup. Some light. And then after that, we're going to be doing some, I don't know what you call this stretch, like a hip up, a knee up. I'm going to call it a knee up. Just get a knee up, you know. Right? It was only like hurting my hamstrings. And after that, we're doing some just really unlocking the hips. Now we're doing some abs. I'm surprised that I can do more. Like back then, I remember when I first started working out, I only did like 20 and I was done. But now I can do up to 30. I could probably do more. It's just that like, bro, it was burning so bad. Like that shit hurt. Now we're doing some like cycling, ab extended workout thingy, yeah. And then after that, we're ending off doing these. Bro, I did like 50. Bro, my shit was burning, fool. Oh, hell nah. But hey, that's the workout for today. And boom! That's the picture for today. Your boy's looking kind of smacks, you know? Tomorrow is arm day, so I'm looking prepared for that. Guys, what are your thoughts if I started tanning? The thing with me is that I'm already tan, but I have a t-shirt and a tank top tan combined. So like once the shirt comes off, brother, I am like pale. I'm white. So I'm thinking that I tan, but I don't know how I'm supposed to tan when I have these kind of tan marks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I could just not care. But anyways, onto the breakfast. Literally the exact same thing. 1 scoop of protein powder, creatine, 1 scoop of oatmeal, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, 1 hefty scoop of peanut butter. I love me some peanut butter. And then water, blend that all up, drank that hoe. And then I had like 2 pills of like vitamin D. And yeah, let's go on to the lunch. Okay, for lunch, your boy had a bowl. I don't know if y'all can't really see it, but at the bottom there's like a thin layer of beef from like yesterday. So we got a thin layer of beef, then we got a bunch of cauliflowers with some potatoes, and then a lot of chicken. Yep, no carbs for this one, but overall pretty good lunch, not gonna lie. And then for dinner, we had half a piece of naan. Bro, I checked the macros on 1 naan, bro. It's like 270 calories. That is crazy. And then on the left, we got some 2 pieces of fish with some fish curry on the side with some water. And overall, that was the dinner for today. Hey, thank you guys for watching the video. That is day 39 complete. Tomorrow is day 40. It's crazy. I've been uploading for 40 days consistently. That's what I say. But super excited for that. And guys, it's just like it's 7 more days until I'm going to Japan. Super excited for that. But hey, thank you guys for watching the video. It's been your boy Parag. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you have any content ideas or anything, just comment down below. I always read it anyways. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 40. Peace.